Hello, folks. How are you? Welcome back again to the Human Music live stream. This is Quincas Moreira, and I've been away for a little while. There's a very good reason for my absence recently. I had been not idle because I'm never idle. I always find things and invent things to do, even when I don't have ongoing client or commission for a work. So I decided to start these live streams and create content for my personal stash of bangers, which will be on the website humanmusic.org coming soon. Already have a logo for it, and things are progressing nicely. And but and I make some money with royalties from hundreds of songs that I've written over the years, and so it's not like I'm actually actively seeking out any kind of work. So I can afford to just sort of do my own thing and invest in future prospects. However, I did get a job recently. I got asked to um, be part of a team in Brazil composing for a pretty high profile movie by a very important studio. And it's been a lot of work. I've so much work that I haven't literally had no time to live stream, and that's why I've been away. So I apologize. Today, I was able to deliver my assignment early, and I saw that I had a window, so I decided to come back here. I can't promise that I'll be able to do this tomorrow, but I'm here today. David, hello, my friend Kinkas. Thank you for your live streams and all the great music, says David Kaiser, who is the birthday boy today, as I've seen on my feed. So happy birthday, David. Thank you for joining us on such a special day for you. I have a couple of new things going on here in the studio. You might have noticed I'm no longer using my headset headphones. That's because I bought these really nice Sennheiser HD 660S 2s, I think. They're the latest in the line of HD from that started with the HD 600s, which are world class, legendary, renowned headphones for mixing and mastering. And I did a lot of research to because those headphones, the Audio Technicas with the headset that I've been using, they're nice because they have a microphone built in, but they're not the greatest reference headphones, which meant I couldn't really rely on them to be confident about my mixing. So that meant I had to, at some point, take them out and listen to my speakers and so on. So I decided that maybe I should just have really, really good reference headphones. So I did a lot of research and watched a lot of YouTube videos by expert mastering engineers and read articles and stuff and came to the conclusion that these were the ones, the HD 660S2s, and they're expensive, but I think it's definitely a worthwhile investment for me, especially since I'm doing so much work now with headphones because as I'm live streaming, I don't want the speakers to feed back into the microphone. So now I'm using this. What is this? Is this also a Sennheiser? Now, this is an AKG dynamic microphone. It's kind of like their SM58 equivalent. And so this is what I'm using now, which means that if I step away, you start, there will be variations in how you hear my voice, depending on because I no longer have a headset right up against my face. In fact, I'm testing this mic position over here. I feel like it gets a little bit in my way as far as typing on the keys here on my computer keyboard goes. But we'll see. If I have to, I might have to move it away a little bit, maybe bring up the volume a little bit. And, but anyway, let me show you guys a couple of new things going on here in the studio since I started composing again for film every day. I needed to streamline things a little bit. So I got a new desk over here. This is my main desk, right, where I'm working. This is my podcast mixer that I'm using for the live stream. There's the GoPro feed. Like here's infinity and beyond. Anyway, and then here I used to have this like plastic kind of gig desk and another ugly desk over there and both together and that's where I had my pedals before. And so I decided to go out and actually buy a nice table. So here's my rack. I'm testing this Eventide DSP 4000 from the 90s effects processor. I'm not convinced it's worth what it costs. So it's very expensive because it's a collector's item, but I'm not sure it's worth its weight in gold for me in this studio right now. I like some of the sounds, but I get awesome reverbs out of the night sky right here. So maybe I don't need that thing. Oh, here's a new addition to the studio as well. This is my new PRS guitar. It's a custom, uh, the SE line, right? Student edition, which means it's made overseas. It's not the American made one, so it's way cheaper, but it's extremely well built. Sounds amazing. And it has a whammy bar, which I was kind of missing. None of my nice guitars have whammy bars. I have a Telecaster, I have a Gibson um, Les Paul. I have a headless Ibanez that I really like, and none of them have a whammy bar. I started to feel like I needed one for like some surf rocky kind of stuff. So I went to a store and just picked this thing up, and it's really nice. So now I have this nice new guitar. My upright bass is now in the studio here because I've been using it for the composition job. And let me give you a quick rundown of the pedal board here. You see I have two AB switches, right? So, and I have a wireless system. Why do I have a wireless system if I'm just plugging right into it, if I keep it on the desk, right? Well, that's to cut noise. If I use a wireless system, I'm no longer coupling ground from the instruments to the pedal board, and that cuts down on the hum because I do have some guitars and basses that generate a little bit of hum. So I plug my instrument into that transmitter over there. The receiver is over here. It goes into this AB box here. The AB box will then route the signal into to two different chains. One of them being my analog chain that I mostly use for bass. So that's just a compressor and a second AB box that will route it either to an amp simulation, an analog one by SansAmp, or my color box by JHS. So if I want to sound like an amplifier, I will use the SansAmp. If I want to sound, oh, what did I do? There we go. Sorry. If I want to sound like I'm going through, in the line input of an old school Neve mixer with a cool EQ, then I'll use that. So I can have a bass sound that goes compressor to Neve or compressor to SansAmp. So that's for my bass sounds. But if I'm using guitar or even bass, but I want more a fancier kind of a sound, then I'll punch this AB box and my signal will go into the HX stomp. Mostly use it for guitar, and that's going into the night sky here for really fancy, crazy reverbs like atmospheric stuff. I've been using a lot of that for my film scoring. So this can be for either a bass if I want a more complex chain, or for guitar. So that way I don't have to be unplugging cables all the time. I just use the AB boxes to route my signal however I want it, right? Here I have now some space to actually have my Yamaha SY organ, YC organ readily available, and it's gonna act as a controller for my steam pipe synthesizer, which I've also been using a lot for film scoring. It's amazing for that. I have my MPC over there, and and I have my ribbon Continuum Mini over here. It's acting up a little bit. I need to talk to talk to them about service. And now here I have my synth box. You probably recognize it as my dub box from when we did a reggae. And I've added some stuff to it. So I kept a hole open for so I could access the spring in there. But I also added a synth voice, an analog synth voice with two oscillators, filter, VCA envelope, a MIDI to CV, and multiple. So that's for when I want to do simple like Mogi type sounds, like bass or lead or things like that. This is my camera that you're looking at my face through. And yeah, this is a little. Here's my instrument with the new skin on it that I'm loving. I'm using that for lots of orchestral stuff using the Swam instruments. Here's my Hydrosynth, which I'm also using a lot. And I brought out the Percons because I've been using the 808 type, the pitched 808. So I use the Hydrosynth as a controller, as a MIDI controller, to play really punchy 808 type bass out of the Percons. And I can also use it as a drum machine if I need to. And here's my main Yamaha keyboard controller as well as stage piano for a lot of piano like sounds. Oh, David is commenting that the PRS SEs that are made in Korea are not student edition but special edition. Those are very tight and resonant and very clean guitars. Right, mine is Indonesia. So I'm pretty sure it is called student edition. Just they just name it that because it's cheaper because it's made overseas. But PRS's quality control is so amazing that honestly, I don't feel or hear much of a difference between their three times more expensive American made in Maryland models and the Indonesian models. It's a really, really fine guitar. It's perfectly finished and um, everything about it. It's perfect and I love it. Some people say PRS guitars don't have a soul, they don't have mojo, mostly because you pick any one model up right from the wall at a music store and they'll sound the same because they're very consistent in manufacturing. So it's not like a Gibson or a Fender where between like four models made the same year, same factory, and they'll sound slightly different. And you pick the one you like the most. You say, that's my Fender, that's my Gibson. It's different than all the others. That's not the case with PRS. PRS, the same model, will sound the same anywhere. But it sounds great, and I believe mojo is in the hands, folks, not in the instrument. If it's a good instrument with good pickups, good wood, it sounds good to me. It'll inspire me, and I'll get my mojo through it. And so that's my opinion. I actually uploaded a video recently. I think it was yesterday on TikTok, Instagram, all those places, kind of playing surf guitar kind of stuff and showcasing the guitar. And that's even like the caption is the do PRS guitars have no soul, no mojo? What do you all think? If you have experience with these guitars, what's your opinion? I'm really loving it. I do have a Fender and I do have a Gibson that I love both very much, and I like this one just as much. So, uh, and it actually is about the same price too, because like my Gibson, I got it used and it's the tribute model, so it's already cheaper, and I got it even cheaper, so it costs less than my PRS. And my Fender is a Player Two, which is Mexican made, and it also cost about the same, so $1,000 more or less. So they're all about the same price range, and I consider them all similar quality guitars with particular differences that make me choose one over the other depending on the context. So anyway, that's a lot of talking, folks. And I know you're not here to hear me talk. You're here to watch me work and hear me play and things like that. So, without further ado, let's pick up where we left off about 2 weeks ago. And I can see here that the last thing we did I think was in May 8th. Uh, let's see. No, May 21st, right? So we're in June 10th. So it's been almost 20 days, right? Or about 20 days that I've been away from streaming. And again, I apologize. It's a good cause. I've gotten a commission, which is nice. You don't want to count on, as a musician, as a composer, you don't want to count on a single revenue stream, especially if you have family and stuff. And I do. So my only revenue stream has been for a while just royalties. And while I'm lucky to be getting fairly decent royalty checks, you never know. You never know if the popularity of my songs will go down, something happens. And, it's nice to now have started a partnership with a studio in Brazil that I hope will continue and beyond this current project, so that I will have constant work and a second revenue stream in case the first one flails out or whatnot. So let's we've got master here. This is the folder where we're saving the master, the mixed songs, right? So we're going through and mixing these songs. We've already mixed Journey Home, so that's sounding like this, which is kind of a bossa nova, like electric bossa nova. It's sounding nice on these fancy new headphones I have. How loud is it for you folks? I think it should be. There we go. Now I can't make my microphone any louder. Hello? Let me turn that down just a bit. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have the music a little soft, folks, because I can't boost the mic anymore. It's all the way up. So in order to properly balance my voice and the music, this is what we'll need to do. We'll need to have the music a little softer. I hope it's not too soft. David, are you still there? What's the volume like on the stream right now? Maybe I can boost it somehow. Right, so this is the Journey Home, which, yeah, we're naming the songs. As we mix them, we're coming up with names, right? Porcupine, I think, is an electronic thing. Nope. Right, I'm pretty sure this is something I improvised in layers. So I just did a drum take, like without listening to anything, just imagining like a band. And then I added bass guitars and keys. Right, so I just improvised the drums and then improvised probably a bass line. And then once you have drums and bass, then you're no longer improvising the other stuff, right? You have to kind of construct keys and guitars. So that's mixed already. And we have Simple Touch, which is it's a nice name, and it's also the name of the synthesizer that I was showcasing when I made this song, right? Sometimes some of these songs I'm doing a double whammy where I'm live streaming my composition process and also showcasing some gear that I've been asked to showcase, which I still do a lot of. I get asked by manufacturers to demo or tutorialize or whatever. And this was the Simple Touch synthesizer, so that's what this is sounding like. So David is telling me I should lower the music a little bit by 10%. There we go. Thank you, David. And how is it overall? Are you having to boost your volume too much, David, to hear me properly, to hear the stream? I feel like it's a little soft compared to when I was using the headset. Yeah, so this is the Simple Touch song, and then there's a swan dance. What's the swan dance? Oh yeah, this is the one I did with the instrument controlling the swam instruments by physical modeling, by audio modeling, sorry, in Italy. So that's why it's called swan dance, because it's the swam instruments, right? I swapped the M for the N. And it's also kind of appropriate to... It's kind of like a contemporary classical piece in that it's not necessarily following traditional harmonic rules. And there's a lot of interesting panning going on, which is nice. You know, I think I'm poofing. See? Let me get a little filter going here. Hold on. This thing on here looks very weird, but definitely kills the poof. Yeah, getting used to the new setup here, folks. All right, this sounds really nice. Cool. It's very varied, right? So now we're going to... Hold on, I feel like is there a second audio source? Like I feel like I'm hearing double my voice. Maybe it's just my impression. Okay. Danilo, hi. I think the general volume is a bit low. Yeah, Danilo, that the problem is I think I need a separate microphone preamp to boost this mic because in order to be able to talk over the music, I have to have the music low because I'm no longer using my headset. The reason I explained in the beginning of the video, the reason I'm not using the headset is that I got these fancy new mastering, mixing reference headphones that I feel like I should be using so I can trust these mixes that I'm doing with you guys through headphones more. And that means I need to use an external mic. Or it could be a condenser mic. I could use a condenser mic because this thing has 48-volt phantom power. So let me try that. Let me see if I have a little condenser around here that I could use for this. How about we listen to the next song up in the weird. Okay, so we did the Swam, we did Simple Touch. I think we also did the Bossa, right? So we have to label that as blue. We have 4 songs. So maybe the next one will be the blues. Let's open up the blues session, and I'll let you listen to it as I go find a better suited microphone for this function. Somebody just rang the doorbell. I wonder if it's delivery person bringing another toy for the studio. Waiting for the video engine to launch. We don't need video. I think that's probably because I've been using video a lot for all my composing work for this Disney film. Okay, let's hit play here. and I'll go get a microphone. That sounded okay, right? Here, I got this PreSonus. This is from when I was using a PreSonus uh, full kit of microphones for the drum set, which I started replacing one at a time, right? So first I got, uh, um, I think it was the RE20 for the floor tom. Then I got a Shure mic that's like a gooseneck, better tom microphone. Then I got an SM57 for the snare. Then I got a D112 for the kick. Then I got a Rode two pairs of Rode's for overheads. So eventually I replaced all of the cheaper PreSonus mics. But one of them was failing. So we have to see. I found one. We have to see if this is the one that's failing. It doesn't work. But being that it's a condenser mic, I think it'll be perfect for this. Hopefully it'll work. I need to use a different cable because I'm using the other end of this cable is TRS. I don't think Fandom will go through that, so I'll have to use a nice long mic cable here. I'm going to mute the mic so I can swap it without poofing your faces off. Oh yeah, this is the bad one. Oh no, it's okay. I think it's just poofing because the gain and I need to put the pop filter on there. There we go. This sounds louder, doesn't it? I think this will work. So we're gonna use this instead of the dynamic. Oh, I'm gonna need a different holder. Or maybe I can improvise by just sticking this in here with the pop filter, kind of holding it in place. There we go. Now let's try to boost it. Yeah. Oh yeah, baby. This is way better. So now we can probably turn up the music. And we can have a louder stream overall. So thanks, Danilo, for your comment. I do feel like this is distorting a little bit, so maybe I should just get used to keeping a little bit more of a distance from the mic. How's this? Is this better, folks? Hey, Bad Chisel. Chaz, how you doing, man? Good to see you here. We're mixing a little blues tune here today. So first we have to see how we're doing with headroom. I think the harmonica needs to be a little louder. We have a channel strip here going, and maybe we can make the compressor a little bit more reactive and punch up the output a tiny bit. Someday I'll get one of those green bullet microphones. Hello, hello. Testing the new mic. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not super happy with this microphone, but at least it's louder than the dynamic I was using before. So it allows me to bring up the entire sound of the stream so y'all can hear me better. Hey, Day Holy Cat. Welcome to the stream. The stream volume matches other signals now. Thank you. But this mic, even with the wind filter, is distorting still. Yeah, I think when I speak louder into it, it distorts a bit. So yeah, I think I'll just keep a distance. Like, you know, I don't need to go so close up, and then I'll figure out something else, something better. Maybe I'll get one of those condenser. Day Holy Cat, you probably don't remember me. I'm the one who got your music and had to take it down since it was your beat. Oh, that's happened a few times. So I have to say I don't quite remember. 3 years or so ago. Okay. So you uploaded to streaming services a song that you sang over my beat? Is that what happened? Yeah, those are. That creates a bit of a conflict with the content ID and all that. I'm sure there's a way if we do it like a remix or something. Anyway, sorry about that. Hope that didn't cause too much trouble for you. Okay, so moving on. Yeah, so let's just listen to this song and see if we need to do anything to the mix beyond what I just did, which was bringing up the harmonica volume a little bit. But right away, I think I'd like this bass to be a little more punchy. So we're going to use the R bass. See, this immediately makes it fuller. And I'm sure I recorded this with a compressor already, but I still like to use the Renaissance Axe. For a little bit of extra compression. Right, so now I have a nice bass sound going. Let's hear the drums. Now listen to this. These drums have no EQ on them whatsoever. They have a reverb on the, and they have a compressor on the sub, that's the auxiliary where they're all routed to, and a little bit of EQ overall. So maybe they deserve some, like for example the snare drum could be a little clearer, right? Let's bring maybe we can even gate it so that we isolate that snare a little more, a little longer release. and compress it a little bit. So this compressor on the Neutron it always comes up as multi-band. So if you want it to be all band, you have to change this here, and then just bring up the punch a little bit. That sounds nice. Let's hear the kick drum now. Ooh, this kick needs help. We can make it sound way better. So it's sounding boxy because it's got a lot of those low mids. So already just scooping out low mids. And I think we can even get rid of some of those low frequencies. Now, this is not the whole picture of the kick drum because I do have RE20 on the under the floor tom facing the front of the kick drum. So both together. Now that mic is doing triple duty. It's picking up the snares from the bottom of the snare drum. It's picking up the floor tom resonance, and it's picking up the beater, the kick drum beater. So, but already you can hear how the kick drum sounds way better once I open this mic up. Right, this is just a close-up mic, and this is with the floor tom. So it picks up the beater sound, right? Now let's bring in that snare. I'm still not totally convinced about this. Here we go. I'm getting a little boost in a very specific range here, around 60 hertz. And maybe you can bring up a little bit of that 3K for added kick. Now it's distorting a bit, so we can bring down the volume. And also gate it, why not? Let's gate it like we did with the snare. More release. Let's hear just that kick again. There we go. Maybe this low shelf should be a high pass instead. There we go. That's sounding okay. Alright, let's hear the overheads. So these are the top overheads. It's the stereo pair I have right on over my head, literally. And the way I like to balance these is to make sure that the snare sounds like it's in the center. These headphones have great imaging, so they'll help me. I feel like maybe I need to bring this side down a little bit. Sounds okay. And let's hear the back overheads. These are the back microphones. And the same thing, make sure that the snare sounds like it's in the center, and then everything else will fall into place. Now definitely the snare sounds like it's on the left. So we'll bring up the right side here. Oh, I think these are inverted. Either they're inverted or my headphones are inverted. Let's figure it out with the floor tom here. I'm going to turn to the left, and that's on my left ear. So, okay. So we know the headphones are correct. So that means that, because I'm hearing the hi-hat. Hold on, let's go back to when there's a hi-hat. It starts with a hi-hat, right? Yeah, the hi-hat sounds like it's coming out of my right ear. I prefer the other way, like that. Now let's make sure the other stereo pair over here. It sounds almost mono. Yeah, these are not doing much of a stereo image at all. I should maybe rethink how I have them as like an XY configuration, close together, facing different directions. But they're not making that much of a stereo difference. I think they're okay. I think they're where they should be. So this is the full drum set here. Now we definitely have like a deeper sounding kick, more defined snare. Do I ever play the tom? Let's see, is anybody talking to me? No, I found it on a website. No, I make my own beats now. Haha, cool. I like that sound, how it's just soft in the back to give it more image. I love raw drums, it gives it more naturalistic sound. Maybe whiten the tom. Yeah, let me... let's hear if we ever played the tom. Yeah, I definitely play the rack tom a few times, like here, for example. Maybe I can pan it harder left. Yeah, add some reverb to that tom. Now, this tom could maybe use a little body. Let's give it a little body. We'll go into the plugin here. So these drums already sounded nice, right? You don't need to do much to them. You don't want to over process them. Also use a gate on this, why not? There we go. Found that fundamental there. This will just give it a nice nice presence there. And on the left side. So now the floor tom is a little bit of an issue for me because for one, it's low. So low sounds I like to have them mostly in the center. I feel like if you have a very low thing on one side or the other, it feels lopsided. Also, remember, it's picking up the beater from the kick drum and the snares from the snare, which both should be in the center. So I think this one should be in the center. However, we can give it a little bit of a bass boost as well to make it a little more punchy and present. So I just have to invert the polarity here. I had a plugin inverting the polarity that I replaced with this because I knew I could do it with this plugin. That's because this microphone is facing the kick drum front while the back microphone is, so they could cancel each other, cancel frequencies from each other. So let's go to a high pass here to get rid of the like rumble, and here we go. That's that nice ring, nice floor tom ring there. And maybe we can bring up a little bit of the snares. Right? Okay. So now balance. Let's hear how they're balancing. How the drums are balancing by themselves, right? think the kick's too loud, maybe. There we go. Everything else is sounding pretty nice. Let's add the bass now. Bass is a little loud. Okay. Now, it looks like I'm hitting the red here on the master fader. So let's bring the sub drum channel down a little bit. And we'll bring the bass down as well. We'll give ourselves a little more headroom. And guitar one. So now I can bring Hey Breeze, good to see you here, man. How you doing? Sorry it's been so long since I've been able to stream. I was telling these folks I got a job composing for a Disney movie in Brazil, and that's been taking up a lot of time. So I'm pretty much busy all day. When I'm not picking up my girls from school or giving them dinner, I'm pretty much here in the studio composing cues for this. It's a kids movie, so it's got a lot of music, and I'm part of a big team too. I'm not doing it by myself, but it's still a lot of work, so I haven't been able to stream. Today I happened to deliver my my assignments early, and I was able to have some time to stream for you guys again. And we're back to mixing the songs so that we can master them and then release the first album of the project, Human Music. Maybe we can let this guitar live a little bit to the left, and then we'll let the Hammond organ live a little bit to the right. Oh, it's not a Hammond, it's an electric piano. Should change that name. EP. Does this guitar need anything? Maybe it needs a little compression. I mean, it's already processed. I think I probably used the HX Stomp. Was that what I did? It sounds very processed, so it doesn't need much. But we're gonna tame it just a tiny bit with a compressor with the R Renaissance Axe, which is a guitar dedicated. See, it gives it already a little more presence. Now the electric piano already has. I think it could use a little. See, I was filtering maybe too much of the lows there. Made it sound thin in comparison with the guitar. Are they fighting the bass? Not really, are they? Here's a Telecaster solo. We're also going to compress that. Just a tiny bit. And we got a harmonica going here too. Harmonica has its own channel. We already compressed it more. Alright, let's open up everybody again. Now, this is a part of the mix process that I call the static mix, which is just getting a nice balance without moving faders, right? So have like where you can set the faders where the song already sounds pretty good and balanced. So faders and pans and stuff. Now the next step is the dynamic part, which can be both corrective and creative. Corrective in the sense that maybe there's a part of the song where the guitar is louder than everything else, so you will create automation to lower it, to correct these little let's call them deficiencies in the mix, little things that bother you that the static mix won't fix, right? If you leave it static, it sounds good in one part but not great in another part. So we have to listen for that first. And the second part of the dynamic mixing, which is creative, means maybe automating effects for certain parts, like on the dub track we would automate the sends to reverb for effect, right? So the one snare hit would get like this gigantic reverb and so on. So and also maybe panning, like we did I think on the more like classical sounding track we did. I think I have a flute or some kind of element floating, making the mix more dynamic and interesting. Now, this is a traditional blues, so I don't think I'm going to do too much creative panning or affecting or anything like that. We want it to sound like a band playing in a room, right? Just a good room, a good band, good instruments, good balance. We don't want to play around with effects too much. I don't anyway. So it's mainly going to be the dynamic part of this mix will be corrective if needed, right? So we're going to listen now and make sure that everything is where it should be. And if we feel like maybe there's part of the Telecaster solo that's not as audible, we'll boost it up, or the harmonica, or maybe we'll make room for it by lowering the other guitar while the Tele is soloing. Things like that. That's what the dynamic mix is. I always thought you were human, just an observation. Thank you, Chaz. Yes, that's the point of my project here, is to show off my humanity, right? To make music with the feel of a human person that makes mistakes and things are not perfect, right? Even if we aim for perfection, but as humans we can't achieve it, and that balance there is important. It's good. It's something that I think more and more people will yearn for as we move into this artificial intelligence world, where everything is so polished and perfect and clean. Music made by humans will be more and more valued. I hope. That's what I'm betting on. Okay, so let's listen to this. I think I have the static mix down. Let's listen to it and see if there's anything else that needs to be adjusted. And if so, then we'll think about any automation that might be required for this for certain parts of the song. Look at that, there's already automation on the telly. Oh, right, and there's the piano solo here. So I've already done some dynamic mixing. I feel like it's distorting a bit here. Into my podcast mixer, so I'm lowering the feed from my audio interface. So yeah, it looks like I'd already done some dynamic mixing on this track. We're back to the harmonica solo. The harmonica is pretty much, whenever it's playing, it's soloing, right? So we didn't need to automate any of it. How's it sounding, folks? Do you feel like it's balanced, or is anything too soft or too loud? Breeze is asking me how I recorded the harmonica. No, this is not a simulated harmonica. It's the one in my drawer. Well, I have a couple. This is called the blues harp, but it actually doesn't sound as good to me. It's a Hohner, like the classic Hohner blues harp, as the Golden Melody, which is also a Hohner, but this is a finer harmonic, in my opinion, the Golden Melody. It doesn't bend as well as the blues harp, but it just sounds better, and it's in a key that I preferred as well. I've had these for many years. Yeah, probably some of my oldest instruments that I've owned have been these harmonicas. And I think, what microphone did I use? I probably just used my trusty condenser microphone, the Blueberry, which I use for everything because it just sounds great. Like, it just sounds clean and transparent. Like, pretty much anything you record on it hardly needs any EQ afterwards. Although I should have probably used the Green Bullet, which I will buy at some point someday. I should also buy a whole set of harmonicas in every different key, which I don't have yet, and practice playing harmonica. It's such a nice instrument. So yeah, no, I didn't simulate the harmonica. It's a true harmonica that I used to play since high school. It's an instrument that was easy to carry around and have with me, and I was obsessive, autistic kid who had to have something to play in any situation. I still am. I still go on holidays with my family and bring a bass. Like, I can't not have the option to play an instrument whenever I want to. So yeah, I've been playing harmonica. I mean, I'm not a professional or a virtuoso harmonica player, but I can pull it off well enough to give it a vibe, like for a blues song, such as this. So, all right. Again, let's have a listen now. Maybe we're done with this mix. And I'm just gonna, yeah, there's already a marker here for the very beginning of the song. piano solo is too loud. Just a tiny bit, right? Let's go back. Yeah, that's better. Ha, I think we're done. I like it. Does anybody have any observations? What should I name this song? Oh, Bad Chisel. Chaz, you're asking me how does my intro go again? What do you mean? Do you mean the intro for this song? Do you mean how I introduce myself in my videos? Well, for these videos, I'm saying welcome to the Human Music live stream. I'm Quincas Moreira. Traditionally, in my most of my videos, as synth DIY guy, I would say, "Hi, I'm Quincas, and I'm a synth DIY guy." So you might be referring to that. And the intro to this song is just, I think it just kicks off. Right? It's not quite an intro. All right, so let's check if we're not, yeah, it doesn't look like we're hitting red anymore. Or we'd see a little red marking over here. So that's not happening. So that means we have enough headroom to master, as long as we're not hitting the red. And we have the locator for the beginning of the song. Let's set one for the ending. Right here is the very end. In fact, let's let the decay of the cymbals or the drums happen. I'll put a marker right there, and now we'll select from one marker to the other, like that, and we'll bounce it. Now, what should I name it? What should I name my blues song? Yes, Chaz says it's the song. Yeah, it starts with that row, the harmonica thing, right? Tinkin to row. That's the intro. It's not quite an intro. It just goes right into the blues. So I'm thinking, what should I name my blues song? I have a blues song in the YouTube audio library called "Bluesed and Abused," which I thought was a funny name for a blues song. Black and blue, like you got beat up. I'm sure there's already a blues song called Black and Blue, though. It doesn't have to have blue in the name. What are some, like Hound Dog? And maybe mine should be called Stray Dog. Down Home. Down Home. Down Home is good. Hey Chaz, I'm going to take you up on it. I'm going to call this song Down Home. You're a long time contributor, and I appreciate you. Down Home. All right, so where are we going to save it? We're going to save this in my work drive, where I have Human Music PT V1 Master. That's where we're going to save it. And I'm going to do an online bounce because I like to hear the bounce. So we're going to hear the song one more time before we move on. It'll be the last time we hear it before we go into mastering. Let's go. It's only 3 minutes long anyway. You know what, folks? I think the drums need to be a tiny bit louder. I'm gonna bring them up a couple dB here. Sorry. Methupa. Yeah, hello. I saw you wrote to me recently on one of my short videos. I've been doing these like short little videos that I can do quickly, right? So can't do long streams, but I can sit in front of a phone and do like a quick 30-second, 40-second, 1 minute video playing something funky. So I've been doing those. And Methupa asked me, hey, when are you going live, man? So yeah, I told you I was busy working on a commission on a movie. But today I happen to have some free time. So here I am, just to keep y'all, keep my group, keep my fam happy. I don't want to lose you guys. I don't want to be away from streaming too long because I want to build this up. I want this to be a regular thing, and hopefully I'll have time. Yeah, and by the way, I'm going to Brazil in July. But I do plan on bringing like a portable setup, and I'll possibly, can't guarantee to do it every day, but I'll try to do some streaming while I'm there too. Maybe like at the beach, with something like portable and the bodyguard next to me. All right. So nice to see you, Matupa. Thank you for joining. I hope it's not too late in Sri Lanka. What we're doing here is mixing this blues song, and as I was bouncing it, I felt like the drums should be a little more present, so I brought them up. Let's see if they're good now. Yeah, that's better. Reminds me of Led Zeppelin. Bring It On Home, right? So maybe Chaz also subconsciously remembered that song. That's why he named it Down Home. Bring it on home. Slide solo with my tele. I feel much more confident mixing with these headphones on, folks. These are my new Sennheiser HD 660 S2s, which I got for this, so that I can live stream my mixing and be able to trust the results without having to go through speakers. Yeah, it's kind of a scruffy ending, but I don't know. It's on brand, I think, for a blues tune. Will you get angry if I make a suggestion for you to think on? I will not. You have a tele too, Chaz. Cool. No, you can make any suggestion. I'll never get angry. I might not take it if I don't, if I don't agree with it, but I won't ever get angry at you, man. Fancy headphones. I still use the 280 Pro. Yeah. It's more about what you get used to. I just didn't really have headphones that I really trusted. I have decent headphones for producing, for recording, for tracking, but I didn't have a pair that I really felt like I could trust as reference. So I figured I'd go ahead and research and get the very best ones that I could find, that I could afford. And it turned out the best ones are not the most expensive. Like there are headphones that cost up to like $4,000. These were not. These were around $500, which is pretty expensive for headphones. But it's within my reach. So make your suggestion, Chaz. What were you gonna say? Hopefully it's not for this song because I just finished it, I think. But if your suggestion is, if I agree with it, I might redo the balance. Go ahead and tell me. In the meantime, I'm gonna see. We're gonna label this one as blue because we've done it already. So live stream. Let's close the session first. Close session. I should probably rename the sessions too, shouldn't I? So this is the blues. We're gonna call it Down Home. I'm gonna copy the text and paste it over here as well. Now, this one is this Swan Dance or Swan Lake? What is it? Swan Dance, yeah. So this one we're gonna name Swan Dance. Swan Dance. Again, copy. Paste it here. Let's see if Chaz has made a suggestion already. Uh-oh. Chat has disconnected. Am I still streaming? It looks like I am. So I hope you guys reconnect soon. But in the meantime, I'm gonna let's see. What did we name our bossa song? We named it